Most shooters believe a dependable semi-automatic shotgun demands a budget north of $1,500. Engineering records tell a different story. Modern manufacturing has pushed flagship features down into shotguns costing half that price. Today we are digging into overlooked barrel metallurgy, gas venting decisions, and bolt engineering most reviews never mention. One shotgun on this list uses a valve system borrowed from a much more expensive platform, and it changed everything about how magnum loads feel in your shoulder. Let's get into it. Number 5. Mossberg 930 and its modern successor, the 940 Pro. This shotgun matters because it gave budget-conscious shooters a genuine gas-operated platform when most guns in this price range still relied on inertia alone. Mossberg built the 930 around a dual-vent gas mechanism, a domestic answer to imported gas guns costing far more. The system taps high-pressure propellant gas through twin ports drilled into the barrel, driving a piston forward of the receiver to actuate twin action bars. The later 940 Pro variant added corrosion-resistant internal components and nickel-boron-coated gas parts, refinements aimed directly at hunters who store their guns in harsh field conditions. Here is what most people miss about this gun. The receiver architecture accepts interchangeable barrel setups, letting one shooter swap between an 18.5-inch home defense barrel and a 28-inch field or waterfowl barrel on the same action. Few gas guns in this price bracket offer that kind of roll flexibility. The 930 weighs 7.5 pounds, chambers 3-inch shells, and runs strictly in 12-gauge, a step behind the multi-gauge Stoeger M3000. Baseline 930 models require short cleaning intervals to prevent gas port fouling, a maintenance demand the 940 Pro reduces but does not eliminate. Mossberg engineered this platform as an accessible entry point into gas-operated recoil mitigation. The next gun on this list abandons gas entirely, betting on a spring hidden inside the bolt instead. Number 4. CZ USA 1012, also sold as the 1020 G2. This shotgun matters because it proved a major American importer could build a functional inertia gun without licensing Benelli's patent. CZ introduced the 1012 as the next evolution of its semi-auto shotgun line. Engineers built the platform around a gas-less spring bolt system, a clean departure from the piston-driven guns CZ had sold before. During factory testing, engineers fired 5,000 shells through several test guns without cleaning or oiling the action once. Here is what most people miss about this gun. The recoil spring lives inside the bolt itself, storing energy from the shot and releasing it a split second later to rotate the bolt head open. This design eliminates gas ports, pistons, and the fouling that comes with them entirely. The 1012 weighs 6.5 pounds and ships with barrels measured at 20, 26, or 28 inches. It holds 4 rounds in the tube, feeds a 3-inch chamber, and runs strictly in 12-gauge. That single-gauge offering puts it a step behind the Stoeger M3000, which spans both 12 and 20-gauge. Testers have flagged a trigger pull that feels heavier and spongier than its competitors. That trade-off matters less for hunters than it does for competition shooters chasing split-second follow-up shots. CZ built this shotgun as a working-class field gun for hunters who wanted low maintenance over polish. The next gun on this list solves that same maintenance problem, but with a chamber-sized for something much bigger. Number 3. Stoeger M3000 and its magnum sibling, the M3500. This platform matters because it delivers Benelli-engineered reliability at a price point most competitors cannot touch. Stoeger operates as a subsidiary of Benelli, and both shotguns license Benelli's inertia-driven action outright. The M3-500 descends from the original Model 2000, Stoeger's flagship gun since 2001. Company engineers built the M3-500 specifically to compete against Magnum-chambered shotguns, costing twice as much. Here is the engineering decision that changed everything for budget shooters. The M3-500 houses a recoil reducer directly in the buttstock, a feature normally reserved for premium guns. That addition tames the punishing kick of 3.5-inch Magnum shells without adding a separate accessory. The M3000 weighs 7.4 pounds and chambers 3-inch shells only. Its bigger sibling, the M3500, weighs 7.5 pounds and chambers a full 3.5-inch Magnum shell, still cycling 2 3/4-inch loads without adjustment. Both guns come drilled and tapped for Weaver-style optics. Compare that dual-gauge flexibility, 12 and 20 gauge on the M3000, against the CZ1012's single-gauge limitation. Fit and finish remain distinctly utility-grade on both models. That rough edge matters little in a duck blind, but it shows up fast next to European-made guns in the same price bracket. Stoeger built these shotguns for hunters who needed Magnum capability without a Magnum price tag. The next gun trades that rugged simplicity for Italian craftsmanship and a completely repositioned recoil spring. Number 2. Franchi Affinity 3, and its Magnum variant, the Affinity 3.5. This shotgun matters because it moved the entire operating spring out of the buttstock, a structural change that reshaped how the gun handles in the field. Franchi builds the Affinity line in Italy under Beretta Holding Group oversight. The Affinity 3.5 descended directly from the older Intensity model, engineered specifically for hunters who needed 3.5-inch Magnum capability in a lighter package. Both guns run on a version of Benelli's Inertia-driven system, since Franchi's parent company shares that engineering lineage. Here is the engineering decision that changed everything about this platform. Franchi relocated the recoil spring from inside the stock to a position wrapped around the magazine tube, underneath the forend. That shift pulls the gun's center of gravity back toward the shooter's hands, sharpening swing speed on fast-moving birds. The Affinity 3 weighs 7 pounds and chambers 3-inch shells in 12 or 20 gauge. The Affinity 3.5 weighs the same 7 pounds despite its larger 3.5-inch Magnum chamber, undercutting the Stoeger M3-500 by half a pound. Both variants ship with a TSA recoil pad that Franchi claims cuts felt recoil by up to 50%. Light target loads under 1 ounce occasionally need a short break-in period before cycling reaches full reliability. That quirk fades after a few boxes of shells, and most owners never notice it again. Franchi built this platform for hunters chasing all-day mobility without sacrificing Magnum versatility. One gun on this list still beats it on felt recoil, and it does not rely on inertia at all. You have waited long enough. Here it is. Number 1. The Beretta A300 Ultima. This shotgun matters because it delivers the softest shooting experience on this entire list, while still cycling everything from light target loads to heavy Magnum shells without adjustment. Beretta positioned the A300 Ultima as an accessible derivative of its flagship A400 platform, built to deliver roughly 90% of that premium gun's performance at close to half the price. The shotgun ships in field, waterfowl, and tactical patrol configurations, giving it a broader role than any other gun covered so far. Beretta's engineering team built the platform around a self-cleaning, self-compensating exhaust valve, a technology borrowed directly from their higher-end guns. Here is the engineering decision that changed everything for this class of shotgun. The exhaust valve bleeds off excess gas pressure from heavy Magnum shells automatically, while still preserving enough kinetic energy to reliably cycle light target loads. high-pressure gas drives a stainless steel piston rearward, unlocking the tilting bolt, while the valve vents surplus pressure forward out of the forend. That single mechanical choice is why this gun shoots noticeably softer than every inertia-driven shotgun on this list. The A300 Ultima weighs 7.2 pounds, chambers 3-inch shells in 12 or 20 gauge, and holds 4 rounds in the tube. Compare that recoil profile directly against the Franchi Affinity 3.5. The Franchi relies purely on inertia and raw shell energy to cycle, while the Beretta's gas system actively dampens the impulse before it ever reaches your shoulder. Compare it again to the CZ-1012, a gun built entirely around eliminating maintenance. The Ultima asks for carbon cleaning every 300 to 500 rounds, a real trade-off the gas-less CZ simply does not have. That maintenance requirement is the one genuine weakness on this gun. It matters little for a hunter running a few boxes a season, but it matters a great deal for a high-volume clay shooter avoiding cleaning day. Beretta engineered this platform as a do-everything gun, built to bridge tactical, field, and waterfowl roles without asking the shooter to compromise. It earns the top spot on this list because it is the only shotgun here that pairs magnum versatility with genuinely soft recoil, a balance none of the inertia-driven guns on this list can match. Reliability and recoil control no longer belong exclusively to premium price tags. Every gun on this list proves that engineering choice, not budget, decides how a shotgun performs in the field. Which system do you trust more, gas operation or inertia-driven action? Drop your answer in the comments. If you want documentary-style breakdowns built on verified engineering research and manufacturing history, not marketing copy, subscribe for the next one.